this isn't a sewing tutorial, but it is a scan and cut one. I'm going to give this balsa wood a go in my scan and cut with the deep cut blade. I've never tried it before, so I thought I'd kind of document how I get on. I've got two thicknesses. This one is 1/16 of an inch, and this one is 3/32 of an inch. So this one's a bit thicker. Don't know if you can see that. You can also, this one kind of wobbles. So I'm hoping it'll cut through the thicker one, but I'm going to start off with the thinner one and then work my way up to that one just to see whether it works out. So let's give that a go. I'm going to start by cutting a section off, and this thin one I can actually cut with scissors, so that's a good start. So at the minute I only have the low-tack mat, which has a fabric sheet attached to it, so hopefully I won't ruin the sheet, but I haven't got a standard mat at the minute, so that's the one I would use if I did have one. I think I must have just worn mine out and then not replaced it. So I'm going to just stick it on the fabric sheet and hope that works out. And this little blade in here, you can replace it. So that little grey flap just flicks up, and then you can just literally just pull the blade out. So this is a normal blade, the blue one. So you use this one for fabric and cardboard, well, card and sort of thin stuff. And we're going to try the deep cut blade for the first time, which is the purple one. And because I'm not sure how deep it needs to be, I'm going to do a couple of test cuts as well. The scan and cut has like a test setting. I'm going to try it on, because I can see the blade sticking out, but I don't want to cut through my mat as well. That's the other thing. If you make it too deep, you'll cut through your mat and it'll be awful. And as I say, this is the only mat I have, so I really don't want to do that. I am going to set this on 5, just to try it out. If you click pattern, you then have the option for test in the top corner there, next to save data. So if we click test, these are some sample things to try. I'm just going to cut a square, the first one. So I press test, my little square on there has gone into the top corner, and I'm just going to put it through the machine and see what it does. Cut, and then green button to go. Okay, let's eject the sheet and see what we have. That wasn't deep enough, it kind of splintered it, so I'm not quite sure how successful this is going to be, but I'm going to increase the depth on this blade just by popping it out again and twisting it a bit more. So I'm going to try maybe setting it on 8. Also, I think it might be that it wants a bigger kind of shape to stop it from splintering, so once I've got all the way through, I'm going to just, I'll try a bigger shape to make sure that the wood cut's a bit nicer, but I just want to kind of get the depth right first. Cut and go. Ooh! That doesn't sound good. Yeah, that just kind of tore the wood. It could be that this thin wood isn't the best for this. I'm going to increase the depth again because I don't think it went all the way through. And this time I am going to go for a bigger shape. So let's go for a 10 in depth. This only goes up to 12. So I have a feeling the thicker stuff is going to be a 12 or nothing. Let's go home. I'm going to find a shape. Let's go for that hexagon. If I press on the screen, I can drag the shape around wherever. So I'm just going to kind of move it a bit further down. Okay, that's it set. And I'm going to give that a go again. That seemed a little bit better. It didn't go all the way through, but the bigger shape's definitely better. It's nearly all the way through. If I kind of bend it, you can see the light coming through. So I think we're... Oh, and you can kind of punch it out. So maybe I don't need to go any deeper than that. Maybe that's my shape. So that is the slightly thinner one. That is the 1/16. It's time to give the 3/32s a go. This is harder to cut with scissors, but still kind of possible. And I got this from like the modelling section in Michael's. Okay, I'm going to increase the blade to 11. Actually, you know what? Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Let's go for 12. Scary. Please don't break. Please don't break. Oh! Stop. Okay, so we know what's going to happen there. This wood is too deep to go under the bar on the Scan and Cut. So what happens is it kind of, yeah, it doesn't pull it in. So we can't go that deep at all, unfortunately. I'll have to stick with the thinner wood. So now we know. So if you're going to use balsa wood on the Scan and Cut, make sure that you choose the absolutely thinnest one that you can find in the craft store. It should be a bit bendy, and that will give you a good idea that it will go through the machine. So it wasn't the blade that let me down like I thought it would be, it was the rollers on the machine. I imagine that some other cutting systems are a bit better than this one, maybe like a Cricut or something might cut a little bit deeper, but I'll show you on the machine. But this is the problem on this machine. This bar, it has to go underneath that, and that is not height adjustable. But it was worth a try.